part 7, Surah Ma'idah. Or that is Juz al-Sabi', not Sadis. Sadis means 6 and Sabi' means 7. The beginning of Juz 7 on page 121 and 122. We can go to 123, inshallah. If you have the Quran, you can open it and it will have the recitation. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إنما الخمر والميسر والأنصاب والأزلام رجس من عمل الشيطان فاجتنبوه لعلكم تفلحون. إنما يريد الشيطان أن يوقع بينكم العداوة والبغضاء في الخمر والميسر ويصدكم عن ذكر الله وعن الصلاة فهل أنتم منتهون. وأطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول واحذروا فإن توليتم فاعلموا أنما على رسولنا البلاغ المبين. ليس على الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات جناح فيما طعموا إذا ما اتقوا وآمنوا وعملوا الصالحات ثم اتقوا وآمنوا ثم اتقوا وأحسنوا والله يحب المحسنين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا ليبلونكم الله بشيء من الصيد تناله أيديكم ورماحكم ليعلم الله من يخافه بالغيب فمن اعتدى بعد ذلك فله عذاب أليم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقتلوا الصيد وأنتم حرم ومن قتله منكم متعمدا فجزاء مثل ما قتل من النعم يحكم به ذوى عدل منكم هديا بالغ الكعبة أو كفارة طعام مساكين أو عدل ذلك صياما ليذوق وبال أمره عفى الله عما سلف ومن عاد فينتقم الله منه والله عزيز ذو انتقام. صدق الله العلي العظيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل Muhammad. Verse 91, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the rule or the hukm, that is for the khamr. Khamr means the things, the drinks that make the person drunkard, make him drunk. It is khamr, like the wine. Those products that are made of wine and in different parts of the world, alcoholic drinks. These are khamr. Any type of drink, just drink. Wal maysir. Maysir means gambling products. Anything that is made for gambling, it is called Maysir. وَيَصُدَّكُمْ إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ الشَّيْطَانِ. These are the tools and the toys of shaitan. It means that shaitan spreads drinking wine and playing, gambling everywhere. These are the mediums, these are the means, these are the vehicles for shaitan. For what? To make what? Innama. Innama is just a restriction. It shows restrictions. Only and only. Shaitan yuridu. Irada. Yuridu wills. Shaitan. Innama yuridu shaitan. An yuqi'a. Yuqa means puts. Waqa'a. It means this. I put this. I don't know if you see it or not. I put this cell phone on here. It is أنا أوقعته. أنا أوقعته. It means I put it here. يوقع. Put. شيطان puts بينكم. Between you. بينكم. Between you. العداوة والبغضاء. عداوة بمعنى, what does that mean? It means enmity. You'll put between you enmity. والبغضاء. Baghdha, it's a type of psychological problem, like inferiority complex, like making between the people spiritual disconnection. Baghdha. Both is a type of problem that the person feels in her throat. They call it يبغض. بغض. بمعنى when she's anxious, she is angry about something. She wants to cry, but she cannot cry. She feels a type of hardship here, a type of problem here in her throat. She wants to cry because she is angry about something. She is angry with somebody or something. Okay? So when the person is angry, and feeling anxious about somebody or something, she is as if she wants to separate. He is as if he wants to separate from that thing. Okay? Baghdha is the cause of separation. You just feel a type of complex inside your heart, and this complex inside the heart reaches to the throat. You want to cry. You feel a type of heaviness here in your throat. It is because of the heart. The heart becomes so heavy and it affects the throat. Not only the throat, the face, the color of the face changes. The body changes. Maybe the temperature of the body goes high, goes down. All of them are because of the heart. So, Shaitan is trying to make enmity between you, and by enmity, adawa, baghdha, bughd, the cause of separation, complex situations between you and the others, and the separation. And divide and rule, sisters, is the best strategy and tactic for the shaitan and the troops of shaitan. This is a very old strategy that the US government, the British government are doing since many years ago up to now in order to control and govern the people just by two words: divide and rule. If you want to rule one community, try to divide them. Do not let them be united. Unity is the best solution against the enemy. And Disunity is the worst sickness and drug and virus for the Muslim Ummah. How Shaitan is going to do that? How Shaitan is going to make you disunited and separated? By two means. Drinking wine, we have to study that. We have to study why there is separation in khamr, why there is separation in gambling. In gambling, it is clear, because the person is going to put all his money for one thing, and he's going to gamble. Then he's going to lose or he's going to win. Okay? If he's going to win, he's going to grab somebody else's money. If he's going to lose, he's going to give all his money to another person. For what? For vain, for nothing. For vain. Just gambling. There is nothing in between. You have not earned something. You have not done any special thing. Just for vain. Surely a man is going to be angry because of this. If he's a right man, if he's a healthy man, if he's not insane, he will tell himself, oh my God, why did I do this? Gambling. Why did I lose my wealth, my money, even my wife? Some men in gambling, gamblers in the West, even they gamble over their family members, their wives, which God forbid. You see how wildish and barbaric some people are? So if that is a man and he has the minimum characteristics of a man that a man should have, then he will ask himself why. And he will have both. He will have complex. He will have difficulty. He will have enmity toward the other party. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَيَصُدَّكُمْ عَنْ ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. And after that, the zikr, the remembrance of Allah is questioned. وَعَنِ الصَّلَاةِ. And the salah will be neglected and undermined. فَهَلْ أَنْتُمْ مُنْتَهُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dedicate us the light of the Quran to our hearts, and our actions be compatible with the verses of the Holy Book, insha'Allah ta'ala. Now, going back to our main discussion, I just posted, I wish you have seen it, on our group. And thank you, Sister Miriam, that you cooperated with us to make the room and invite our sisters to the room. And thank you all that you participated in the group, and our follow-ups and all the quizzes, all our talks and discussions, other than this meeting, will be in that group, inshallah ta'ala. I just posted a file which is on Google Docs, and that is the questions. 3 questions are asked, and please, after this session is finished, refer to that and try to respond to those questions. This is our first quiz, and be easy, okay, with that. It's okay. Just whatever comes into your mind, whatever you have heard, what you have learned, just think. I just want to test your thinking faculty, how you have been listening and you have been caring about the issues and ideas here, inshallah. The scores are not very important, okay? We just want to know our advantages, our disadvantages, and then by disadvantages, we make them better, and we make them correct, and by advantages, we make them better, inshallah ta'ala. So here we have the final part of our discussion, which is the philosophy. I think we have reached to slide number 10 here. Do you see the slides? You have the slides, sisters?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, thank you. So, the benefits of philosophy. So they were just talked, and for the last point, the benefits of Kalaam was also said. It's not very much important. Here we have example 1. How philosophy and Kalaam prove God. At the pinnacle, at the zenith, there is God. And the best type of benefits for the philosophy and Kalaam is to prove the existence of God, because he is the source of creation. And that is so important. Therefore, we have to know how. Aqidah says the Aqaa'ed, and the belief says that there is one God in the world. Okay, God is united. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Allah is one. Okay, then we have to prove this. What do we mean by oneness of God first, and then how can we prove that the God exists? Philosophy is going to prove it. Philosophy is the mechanism. Aql is the general term, okay? Aql is a general term. Aql is a controller of philosophy. This is one aspect. Philosophy is just the way of thinking. The way of thinking. Previously we said that aql means knowing the creation and knowing the relations between the things, the entities. Okay, this is aql. Somebody who knows the reality and somebody who can do the best according to the creation, to the entities. He's aqil. He's aqil. Maybe a philosopher is aqil, maybe not, because philosopher just thinks. Philosopher can prove the God theoretically, but maybe in actions right, in actions he is correct, he's doing the right action, maybe yes, maybe not. Aql is when he knows the reality and acts upon that. This is aql. But philosophy is just theoretical. He knows God, but if somebody knows God, does it mean that he believes in God in his heart? Philosophy is about here, mind, but aql is about mind, heart, and the body, and the actions and deeds. So that is why any person who knows something, you know that lying is not good, is not fine, is haram, is forbidden. But why we say sometimes lie? We know that that is not right. We know that saying prayer, salat, on time has so many benefits. Said Ali Qazi said, you just be the one who is saying prayer on time for 1 year, okay? Be serious in this action for 1 year, say your prayer on time, and if you did not reach high levels of spirituality, you did not reach high levels of spirituality, then curse me. Said Ali Qazi, you know who he is? He is the greatest of the greatest of the greatest mystics in the contemporary time. All the mystics right now, say that Allama Hassan Zadeh, Allama Jawadi Ahmadi, said Allama Tabatabai, even Imam al-Khomeini were the followers of Sayyid Ali Qazi, who was a great mystic. Nobody has emerged like him from the beginning after Islam up to now in mysticism. He was a great man. He says, if you say the prayer on time for 1 year, you will reach some points, great points, high levels of spirituality. Be sure you will. And if you did not reach, just on time. If I did not reach, if you did not reach, okay, curse me. Curse me. So this is, if somebody knows that salat is good, he should say salat. Many people, we ourselves, we know that salat has these benefits. We have heard a lot. We have proved it intellectually. But why don't we say that? Somebody does not know. Somebody really does not know that much, but he acts. He acts. And when he acts, he reaches that point. There was a man, let me tell you a story, a beautiful story. There was a man going to one session. In that session, there was a cleric, and there was an orator speaking about Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is Ism al-A'zam. If you know this ism, not just merely the articulation and the murmuring of the word, the phrases, no, the phrase is not the phrase. That is the minimal aspect. But that is the Ism al-A'zam. Inshallah, in one session I will speak about Ism al-A'zam if you have time. If somebody has this ism, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, through his heart and through his nafs, he can do a lot of things. If he wills, he can fly in the sky through this ism. If he wills, he can walk on seas. If he wills, he can read the minds. If he wills, he can do this and this and that. Okay? Because it is the Ismul A'zam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through his Asma'il A'zam, 72 names, special Ismul A'zam he has. He's controlling all the world. And Ahl Bayt alayhim salam have all the Asma'il A'zam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All of them. Just one of them, minus one, is not dedicated to them. And that is only for God. It's belonging to God. This is hadith from Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam. This Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is Ism al-A'zam. It means that if you have it, and if you own it, and if you possess it, you will have a control over the world, the creation. So, this is the point. This Shaykh was talking about Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, you will do this, you will do that. For 10 days, and for 10 nights, he was speaking about that. There was a man, a peasant, a poor man, coming from another village to this village to listen to the words of this Shaykh. And he was listening to this. On the way coming to this village, there was a river, and for passing the river, he had to go a long way in order to pass the bridge, to make a U-turn, okay? To make a big U-turn, he had to pass a long way and walk a long way. And when he heard the story of Bismillah from this Shaykh, that if you say Bismillah from the depth of your heart purely, you will pass by the river without being drowned. You can put your foot on the river and you're not drowned. He came. He did this. For the last night, this man invited the Shaykh to his own village and said, let's go to our village. He said, okay, let's go. For all the 10 nights and days, I'm with you to have lectures, orations with you and for you in your village. When they reached the river, the man said, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, the poor man, and passed the river. And when he passed the river, he said to the Shaykh, come, why don't you come? He said, no. He said, no, I'm not that man. To have this Ism al-A'zam. My words influenced your heart, affected your heart, and you could embed, capacitate this ism in your heart. I implanted this Bismillah into your heart and in your body and in your nafs, but this has not implanted in me yet. You passed, but I cannot. Then he has to pass. He had to pass by the bridge, actually. So this is the difference. Philosophy means intellectuality. This is so important, but this does not mean that the person knows everything. Philosophy in proving God, proof of causality. Number one, philosophy proves God through causality. Everything we know, the world is the world of causality, cause and effect, cause and effect. I tap on the desk. Yes, this is a sound that is produced, and this sound is an effect, and it has a cause. The cause is my hand. And the cause of my hand is my mind and my nafs. The cause of my nafs is my father. The cause of my father is his father, reaching to Adam, reaching to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? This proves the existence of God. Through small things around us, evident thing around us. Originality of existence is another proof that is spoken in philosophy. You can also search for it. Asalatul wujud. Everything that exists is a part of existence. Everything is existence. For example, we talk about the cell phone. We say, does it exist? Yes, it exists. Then what is it like? What is it? First, we speak about its existence. Second, we speak and ask about its characteristics. What is it? First, we say it exists. So this originality of existence shows that Allah exists too, doesn't he? This exists too. And existence are the same in both. It is similar in meaning. It means that all the existences are united within each other. So through this existence, we can prove the existence of God. If this exists, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exists too, because the existences are united. Kalaam and proving God, argument of design. That is the most famous argument that is said in many ideological books. Like, for example, you can have this book named Allah wa Mafhum al-Rad fil Islam ma Asma Allah al-Husna by Yasin al-Jaburi. It's an English book, actually. It's an English book. I suggest you to read it. I can activate, you can see this. Alaykum assalam. Oh, yes. Sorry. I couldn't see that, sorry. Because my PowerPoint is above the pages. Oh, two sisters, okay. Okay, is that fine? Can you see the picture? This is the picture. You can just buy this book and get it.
Not clear.
Sorry?
The picture is not clear.
The picture is not clear?
You can just send on the WhatsApp group.
Okay, I will just send the picture of the book for you. I think it's not clear. Also, we have another book, this one, Islamic Belief System. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that?
Yes. Islamic belief system.
Yeah, by Dr. Shamali. I suggest you to buy this book. This is a very useful book. It is written for the native English speakers and very precise, but a summary of that, a summary of Kalaam and philosophy is depicted there. For example, here we have Unit 1, our beautiful work. It starts from creation, and then theology starts from the theology, bringing very simple examples. And the first unit is proving the existence of God. You see, proving the existence of God. And here we have the argument of design, the argument from design. For 2 years, actually, in Mashhad, for some seminarians and clerics, I taught this book for 2 years. And we just, alhamdulillah, finished. I believe it's a very useful book. And here we also have other aspects. Whatever you want to know about i'tiqadat in a rational way is depicted in this book, and relationship between God and the world. Okay? God and the world. Also, we have anthropology here. You see, speaking also about telepathy, hypnosis, new ideas, the mystery of dreams, and the theory of evolution is also depicted here, and it is nullified by different methods and different evidences. The story of evolution, Darwinism, short answer, and the proofs are somehow religious and biological. The view of biologists, the biologists themselves nullify the theory of evolution and Darwinist morality. And after that, characteristics of human beings, here we have it. And after that, there is another one, differences and discriminations. Many questions that women have in terms of racial discrimination, gender discrimination, and the moral rights of women are answered here, about 11 pages, 10 pages. And after that, prophethood, usuluddin, and something more than that are depicted in this. Prophethood means nabuwwah, the general guidance, the specific guidance, characteristics of the prophet. And we have the special prophet, prophet of mercy. And after that, the hereafter, unit 6. And unit 7 is the felicity. It talks about the felicity. Also the death and the middle world, the resurrection, the aspects of resurrection and the hereafter. I really suggest this book and Yasin al-Jaburi's book. For somebody who wants to be working in philosophy, also we need to have a dictionary. This is dictionary of mantiq and logic. It is Farsi, but we have also English ones. What is good about this book is that the English translations also depicted. For example, we call it Istidlal al-Qiyasi al-Mu'tabar, deductive, valid argument. Sorry, I didn't get. What do you mean? We have a message here. Only powerful Salah is being shown. Nothing else is visible. Why don't you tell me then? Can't you see? Can't you see the picture, sisters? Hello? Can't you see the pictures I'm showing to you?
It's visible to me.
Pardon?
It's visible to me.
I don't understand you exactly. The sound is not clear. Oh my
I
God.
can see the video.
So tell me, I'm showing the pictures to you. Why don't you say that to me? Can't you see the picture? I have another account in the group named Sayyidullah Husseini. The pictures are on that page, are on that ID. Can you see that? Yes? Are they visible? No. Yes, no. Yes, no. What is that? Yes, very clear. Thank you. Thank you. So this is also a logic dictionary. It is really needed for somebody who wants to work in the field of philosophy and logic. You know, and logic is related to philosophy. And also we need the dictionary of Arfan and mysticism. Also, it is here. But the English ones are also out there, and you can buy them. Any type of dictionary that is related to philosophy and Also, yes, logic and mysticism. These three, I mean, logic, philosophy, and mysticism are related to each other, interrelated. That is why you have to have the books related to these things. These are just some elementary discussions that we have to speak, for somebody who wants to get into this one. And if you are interested in philosophy and interested in logic or whatever, rational thinking, you need to have the tools. The tools are these things. They are the mediums. They are the means, just like a weapon. Dictionary is like a weapon. Book is like a weapon. So it is needed for these things. Then we have logic. Okay. Let me just have some papers here. I have after that the PowerPoint. We have the logic, and after that is philosophy. And after that, is mysticism. These three are related to each other. Logic is for the mind, thinking. Philosophy is about the creation. Theoretically, logic gives you the thinking ability. It tells you how to think. It gives you the strategies, the mechanisms, the tactics for thinking. Logic does this. Philosophy helps you to know the existence. To know the existence. Theoretically, philosophy tells you theoretically the existence, and mysticism, deeper, intuitive, knowledge of existence, especially God, Allah. Many questions are not answered by logic. Many questions are not answered by philosophy. But philosophy answers many questions that are not answered in logic. Many questions are not answered by philosophy because that is just rational thinking, rationalism. But through the heart, which is the mysticism, we can understand the realities. So this is also about to be discussed. There was also a question that we said about the difference between the religion and the philosophy. The difference is this, that religion gives the propositions, but the philosophy gives the mechanisms. For example, religion says Allah exists. Religion gives aqaa'ed. Allah exists. Allah is united, is one. Then we have this question. Allah is one. That's right. But how? Prove it to me. Philosophy proves. Maybe religion does not prove exactly. Religion says the last step, the final goal, and that is important. The mechanisms are about to be understood by rational thinking. Also, we had a question related to philosophy and the knowing of nafs and the psychology. Psychology is the same. Somehow, to the knowledge of nafs in philosophy. In knowledge of nafs, we know the nafs in philosophy, and then, or mysticism or irfan, we know the nafs, and through knowledge of nafs, we can solve the issues of the people. You see somebody, and because you know what characteristics nafs has in general, and what characteristics the nafs of this person has specifically, then he can read him and say what your issue is. But in psychology, psychology is the matter of secularistic studies. It is a positivistic study. It means that they test the people by asking questions, asking the people some questions, and they understand and they get to a conclusion. Maybe that conclusion is right or not, because they do not know the nafs in general or specifically. They just, through the studies, through the questioners, through the answering and asking the questions, they want to know the nafs. They want to know the problems. That is why, you see, psychology has not, and cannot solve many issues. It can have, but it cannot have that much complete and precise prescription for the problems of nafs. And nafs is so important to be studied through its real origin. Its origin is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Its origin is religion. Its origin is in philosophy and mysticism. So philosophy, mysticism, religiosity, these three, hand in hand with psychology, can make the world a beautiful place. A psychologist must be a philosopher, must be knowing the religious propositions. Also, a religious person, a philosopher, must know some aspects of psychology, because both of them can complement and accomplish the other. Okay, this is it. We just finished our lecture and our presentation in 5 or 10 minutes, inshallah. Say salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So this was about Kalaam, and this was one example. One of the sisters asked, give us some examples. This was one example, proving God and in philosophy and proving God in Kalaam. Example 2, how Kalaam proved the bodily resurrection. Bodily resurrection. Some people say that in the hereafter we are going to be resurrected by this body. This is an issue. Many people have this question. But really, with this body or not? Kalamiyun, the followers of Kalaam, with that strategy that I told you, the differences between philosophy and Kalaam, they say we have to prove that man is going to be resurrected in the hereafter with this body. Many of the Kalamiyun say this. And they face an issue that is named the eater, the issue of eater and the eaten. This is an unsolved issue. But the philosophy proves that, and mysticism proves that, not with this body. Nafs, which is the power, all-encompassing power, nafs is, it can make a body for itself, a special body, proper and appropriate to his nafs, to its nafs, in the hereafter. That is why, for example, we have a hadith that Prophet ﷺ says, my ummah, the negative people in my ummah, the sinners, some of them, are going to be resurrected in 10 groups. Some of them are resurrected while their body is full of fire. Some of them are resurrected while they are cutting and stinging their, their tongue, and a very bad odor is going to come out. I mean, people feel and smell bad odors from these people. Their body is created like this. And the Ahl al-Jannah, and we know that this body is not pure enough, is not clean enough to be entered to heaven. With this body, are we going to be entered to that? Is this body possible for this body to suffer, if that is a hellish person, to suffer those great and impossible to bear punishments of the hell, this body cannot. This body is going to be melted by a spark of Jahannam, by a spark of hell. So it's not like this. A special body is going to be built because the nafs is going to make that thing. So that is why many mystics and philosophers, Muslim philosophers, have said that the nafs is everything. Your nafs is going to make a special body proper to that realm of creation, but the Kalamiyun not. Why? The argumentation is this. Philosophers say that the soul in its unity is all the forces it can create. But Kalamiyun say no, with this body. And if we are going to be resurrected with this body, then we will face an unsolved issue. What is that issue? The eater and the eaten. You have to ask me two questions, sisters, for the next session, the following session. One question is this. Tell me the unsolved issue of the eater and the eaten. It's so beautiful. If I tell you, you will love it and you will be interested in that. What this problem is, that we cannot resurrect with this type of body. And the other thing that I actually have to tell you, if we were alive, inshallah, in the following sessions and we were at your service, is the Ismul A'zam. I just write them so that I do not forget. Ismul A'zam. What is the reality of Ismul A'zam? Many people say Ismul A'zam. Allah is Ismul A'zam. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is Ismul A'zam. Meaning that everybody who says those can do anything? No. Female contemporary philosophers, as fast as possible. We had many philosophers during centuries among females. So, Lady Mujtahide, she passed away recently. She was a great mystic and a philosopher also, that many men were her pupils, were her students, many male. Allama Tabatabai had a special attention to this lady. Allama Tabatabai, Banu Mujtahide, Lady Mujtahide. Amin was born in 1265 in Isfahan. His lineage goes to Ali ibn Hussein through 30 intermediaries. You can read this resume, this actually story of her life, and it is written here. And after that, there is Dr. Tuba Kermani. Also, she was a philosopher, and she was the Secretary General of the International Union of Muslim Women and advisor to the Secretary General, author of more than 60 articles, author of composer of 12 scientific and social books, and participation in more than 80 national and international congresses. She was a professor of philosophy at the Faculty of Theology, University of Tehran, the first female postdoctoral fellow in philosophy. Her academic status was great. The first female postdoctoral fellow in philosophy in Iran to graduate in comparative philosophy and theology. So it's possible for women. I brought as an example two of these great philosophers, and this Banu Mujtahida was not only a philosopher and a mystic, but also a mujtahid, meaning a faqih. She knew the religion. And I will tell you the differences between philosophy and fiqh in the following sessions. Now the questions: what is the relationship between aql and philosophy? I told you at the beginning of our sessions. What is the difference between philosophy and religion in terms of knowing the soul? I wish you had listened carefully, and now you're going to answer them meticulously and elaborately, inshallah. What is the difference between psychology and the knowledge of nafs in Islamic philosophy? Thank you. I wish the information were useful. I will share this PowerPoint, these slides to you on the group or on Google Drive so that you use it, read it, and if you would like to share it with the other people. Thank you. May Allah bless you, inshallah. I will see you next time, talking about tafsir and fiqh. So, any questions? No question? So with that, farewell, and inshallah, see you the next time. Please answer the questions, okay? Thank you. Bi amanillah, as'alakum ad-du'a, inshallah.